Dear friends, let us see pointers in C language. Pointers are used to store the address of another variable. For example, if you declare a variable a that is of integer data type with the value 10. So what happens in the computer? In the memory location, this value 10 will be stored and the address of the memory location, for example, it may be 1506, and the variable name a is actually stored in the symbol table with its address, so that in future the value of a may be accessed. So whenever you declare a variable of any data type, it may be float or integer or character, the value will be stored in the memory. That means memory space is reserved for the particular data type. That is, what is the size of the memory space reserved for the variable is based on the data type. Integer means 2 bytes, like that. Character means 1 byte, like that. So the value will be stored in the memory and it will have a address value, so that this value may be accessed in future using this variable name a. So now if you declare like this, so what do you mean by this declaration? P is a pointer to integer data type. So what is a pointer? Pointers are used to store the address of another variable. So now P will store the address of integer data type variable. If you want to declare a pointer to floating point variable, we have to use float, then asterisk, then some variable name. So this variable will have the address of some integer data type variable. So I say p is equal to address of a. So by saying this statement, so what will happen? P is a pointer variable. It will have the address of a. So what is the address of a? 1506. So this 1506 will be stored in the memory and it will have its own address. So that is what happening when you apply this pointer variable. Note down that the asterisk operator in this place is used to denote that this p is a pointer variable to this particular data type, and this ampersand operator is used to store the address of this variable in this pointer variable. Now this statement, that is asterisk p is equal to 23. The meaning of this statement is content stored in the address specified by pointer variable p. What is the address specified by pointer variable p? It has the address of a. So now this statement will make the value of a is changed to 23 from 10, because the p has the address of the variable a. It means that you are accessing the value of the variable without using the variable name but using its address. Listen here, by using two asterisks and a variable name, it means that s is a pointer to another pointer variable. That means s will have the address of another pointer variable to integer data type. That means pointer to pointer. So by saying s is equal to address of p. So what is the value of p? P is a pointer to integer variable a. That means p has the address of a. Now s will have the address of p. That is what we say, that pointer to pointer. So what is the value stored in S? Address of P. What is the address of P? 2032. So 2032 will be stored here. Can you understand now? So S is a pointer to pointer. That means this S is a pointer variable to store the address of another pointer variable to integer data type. Observe the last statement. Double star, that is double asterisk S is equal to 89. So what do you mean by this? S is a pointer and it has the address of another pointer variable P. So what is P is pointing to? P is pointing to address of A. That means address of A is stored in P. So in this statement, so what will happen? S is pointing to P and P is pointing to A. So A value will be changed to 89. Let us see the types of pointers. The first one is wild pointer. For example, here by having this asterisk here, as we already discussed, this P is a pointer to integer data type. So that means I can store address of any integer variable in this P. But if we don't assign address of any other integer variable to this P, until then this P is a wild pointer because this will have some random value or garbage value. Next, we are going to see null pointer. So what do you mean by this null pointer? So this P is a pointer variable to integer data type, but I have not assigned any address of integer variable to P. So till then I can temporarily make it as P is equal to null. That means this null pointer will have the value 0 and this 0 will be assigned to P, because this is to safeguard this P variable from the problem of wild pointer, because we already discussed what do you mean by wild pointer. Wild pointer means it will point to some random or garbage value. So till you assign a address of some variable, temporarily I can make the pointer variable P to store the value null. Null means literally 0. Next one is void pointer. So what do you mean by this void pointer? So if you declare void asterisk P, this P is called as a generic pointer because this P may store address of any data type. It may be integer, floating point, character or structure, etc. So that is why we call it as P is a generic pointer. But if we say int asterisk P, that means P can store only the address of integer variable. But if we say void asterisk P, this P is a generic pointer and it may have the address of any data type. Let us see how to print the address of some variable. So in this statement, we have declared I is a integer variable with the value of 17 and P is a pointer variable to integer data type variable. So now P is pointing to address of I. So when you print the address of I, that is content of P, note down that we have to use percentage %u, because if you say percentage %d, the value will be printed negative value, because the d means integer data type. The space reserved for integer data type is not sufficient for printing the address of some variable, that is pointer variable. So I have used percentage %u, that means unsigned int. Then only you will get the real address of the variable I.